Hey guys, today we are learning one of my favorite heroes of Dota 2, which is Storm Spirit, aka Ryzen Thunderkeg. And if you didn't know that the name of Storm Spirit was Ryzen Thunderkeg, then feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel. So coming back to Storm Spirit is a range intelligence hero who wields the element power of lightning. And lightning is supposed to be fast like Thor and Flash and all the other cool heroes who have that power of lightning. And as similar to them, Storm Spirit is packed with high mobility, strong ganking and carrying potential in mid game, early game and late game because of his good synergy between his abilities, which makes him one of the best ganking heroes in the game itself. So first thing on the list is his stopping. And when I mean stop, literally stop to upgrade your spells in stupid way of maximizing your third spell instead of first, which in comparison to third spell provides much more farming, ganking and lane killing ability. And what I mean by that is just So the reason that I can kill a Spectre with a Blade Mill so early in the game is simple calculations and knowing of some real facts about the maximizing of certain abilities and what happens when you do that. So the calculation in this scenario goes such as this. Since we are doing the main chunk of damage from the first spell and which costs about 100 mana, so if you do the calculations you can combine the 285 damage coming from the first spell with the cooldown of 3.5 seconds, and that costs around 100 mana, which is absolutely amazing and bizarre in a sense of OPness. So basically like you can spam it. And also on the other hand, the Overload passive damage dealing ability, whenever Storm uses any of his abilities, his next basic right click will be enhanced with a charge which will do AoE damage in area, slowing the enemy for 80% of their movement speed for 0.6 seconds, and the extra damage goes such as 40, 60, 80 and 100. So if you maximize your Remnant, you will do 285 damage plus let the basic attack damage of Storm Spirit be X plus Overload passive damage, which will be 40 in this case, which will aggregate it up to 325 plus X. And on the other hand, if you maximize your Overload first, you will do X damage, which was also the same in the first scenario, 100 Overload damage because you have maximized your Overload first, and 120 static remnant damage, which aggregates it up to for 220 plus X. And you can easily see that the difference here is 105 magical damage, which is like actually a lot difference when you compare it to under 10 minutes damage. So you are basically giving out 105 damage just because you are not upgrading your spells properly. So the next point that you should not do from Storm is when you buy boots, and especially power threads, instead of buying brown boots for 500 gold, buy Glove of Haste for 450 gold, as Storm early game does not lack movement speed because of its ultimate and 285 default movement speed, which helps him move around the gank and through the map. But he surely struggles from low attack speed, which is as low as 110 from the start. So fucking buy the Glove of Haste item, dude. So the next thing that you would want to stop doing by Storm is using your second spell incorrectly and slowing yourself as a result. Here's a bad example of using your second spell incorrectly. And here's the correct one. So the difference here is that instead of wasting the overload charge which you get from your second spell, you use it as soon as possible and you move forward. Then you hit the opponent with one more remnant and one more overload and end up doing twice the damage and slowing the enemy more instead of yourself. So here's an in-game example of what I want to talk about. Okay, so the next thing is the most important thing that you need to stop, which is poor mana management. And don't think that I'm talking about buying or rushing bottle. Even the bottle is the most bought item by Storm players according to the data available on Dota Buff. But what I'm talking about is clarity. Yeah, clarity. Clarity gives you plus 6 mana regen for 30 seconds, which totals up to for 180 mana. But it's not just about 180 mana, but it's more about the plus 6 regen and the ability to just full up your mana for just 50 gold. And before I get in more into that, here is Speed Dota from Gamerly, who teaches Dota to people such as me and yourself, talking about buying clarity and the uses of clarity.
It's a blue item, so in this case, he's close to his Orchid. You're gonna say Speed, he has his Orchid, so he's gonna ship his Orchid. No, look at this, look at this, look at this. Buys the Orchid. What would most people do? Buy the Orchid, ship it out. What does he do? Waits for a clarity. Can you believe that? How insane does that sound? It sounds insane, but you can't play Storm, or Lina, or Lesh, or Ember without buying clarities. It doesn't work.
To support that, here's a gameplay of Sumail playing Lina versus Thompson Morphling. In this gameplay, I want you to notice that even though he dominates the lane as a Lina, whenever he goes to the side lane, to make sure that he doesn't lack mana to spam his abilities and the enemy doesn't just goes away and slips away without dying, he flies out a clarity to ensure he can spam all of his spells correctly without any lag.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help. Radiant's toughened.
And even after that, if you don't agree with me of blind clarity, then
You try to play any of these heroes without preemptively buying clarities. You deserve to stay at your current MMR, if not drop.
the next and the last point is to stop rotating for your jungle instead of the enemy jungle when you get level 6. And as soon as you get level 6, and if and when you get power runes such as DD, Arcane Rune, Invisibility Rune or Regen Rune, because Storm Spirit is a top class ganker guys, and also a nuker who can easily nuke and kill 1v2 easily, and you can also 1v3, considering that the two of the enemy heroes come one after or the other and do not have that much stun. And if you stop avoiding these pesky mistakes guys, Storm Spirit is a hero that can easily snowball even after having a bad lane where you are 0-3 at the start of your lane, because Storm Spirit needs to rush levels only up to the point of getting Ball Lightning at level 6, and after that the experience doesn't matter that much for Storm, but farming creeps and earning gold does matter as similar to other heroes. So you can also do this by sticking with your teammates and doing team fights and taking objectives sooner when opponent has heroes such as Spectre, who are really OP in this patch, and PA and Terrorblade, who clearly depend on their mid game jungle rotation and farming in order to storm the game at the start of the late game. So that's the 5 things and slash tips you should think upon whenever playing Storm Spirit next time. And if you find these tips or whatever you call them useful, please leave a like, and if you have suggestions for me or you want to tell me something, I'm more than open to learn from you in the comment section. So until next time, peace.